one thing here, another thing different here, they meet each other, and we have the disaster. This is the beautiful experience of the conflicts, the beautiful experience of the confrontations that we have every time in our relationships. Okay, in this video I will explain to you why two things. Why the conflicts, not the conflict, but let's call it the encounter of the different parts are inevitable, are necessary, and how to remove the conflicts and actually create something new in our life through the differences. How to make that the differences stop, bring more conflict to our relationship. Let's check it. Okay, the first thing I want to explain you is the nature of the conflict. We all know the conflict. I want A, you want B. We fight each other. We create bad feelings, we create bad emotions, we create bad mood. You go to your room, I go to the living, and that's all. This is the conflict, okay? We all know this. This is not helping us in our life. This is not helping our relationship. Actually, this is killing the energy of the relationship. And eventually, if you go into a vortex of conflicts, a situation is simply impossible to hold, and eventually you will break up. Or the other option, this is the other alternative, many people is doing this, is to avoid the conflict, avoid the contact, avoid the critical topics, avoid to express ourselves, to not to have conflicts. But in this way, what we are doing is suppressing ourselves, blocking ourselves, not allowing us to express that we want this, we want A, that is part of our nature to express this. And of course, this is not bringing anything good to our life. Okay, so we all know the conflict. Where the conflict comes from? The origin of the conflict, is that I want something that you want, and you want something different. But we need somehow to cooperate because we are together. We have a commitment. We have an engagement. We have a common project, a common relationship. Okay, so how to make that this difference creates something new, even different, something that is not A, that is not B, but that is C, something totally different, instead of create conflict. Okay, of course, the letter C maybe is the letter of conflict. Maybe we can call it D, the letter D, something totally different or new. The letter N, something new, instead of creating conflict. Okay, the meeting of two different parts is everywhere, in nature, in chemistry, in the physical laws that rules this huge universe. The meeting between the positive and the negative is essential for this life, in the physical level, in the chemical level, in all levels. Is super necessary. So of course this applies to our spiritual and energetic level. We need to meet something different, to meet the opposites, and this is a process of renewal, growing, is a process of development. We need to have this in our life. Okay, this is part. Problem is that many people connect these two different parts meeting with conflict, but it should not be like this. You can have an encounter of two different parts and create something new, but you need to do the three things I'm going to tell you in this video to manage to avoid the conflict and create something new that it may be a new emotion, a new idea, a new project, a new hope, a new expectation, a new experience in you, something that you didn't have before and your partner didn't have before neither. Three things you have to do to convert differences into something new. First thing is to have an active, both parts, your partner and you, both of you, you have to be fully aware of the proposition, of the experience of the other part. Okay, let's say I want to go to travel for holidays. Let's say I want to go to make a very big trip and have journeys, adventures, and so on. And my partner, she wants to stay at home because she prefers to take this time to rest because she's very tired out of job, work, responsibilities. She wants to have more passive. Let's say we have this situation. Okay, so we should take into consideration, we should take the time, both of us should take the time to fully understand, to fully breathe the proposition and the experience of the other person. So first thing is give yourself and your partner the time to talk to each other, to fully open and to fully express what each of you want. Even if it is different, to give this time, because sometimes we are listening something that is not matching our story, our expectations, and we jump. Oh, I cannot even listen. We jump, we interrupt the other person. You are saying stupidities. You are saying this is the beginning of the conflict. You know this. Okay, so give the time to talk to the other person. Then you get the experience of the other person. And opposite, you will say everything about your point of view, your experience, your opinion, your proposition, and the other person will get it. First thing, you are fully aware about each other's experience and expectation. The second thing is to identify, to be able to see, to put intention, to see the positive part in the explanation, in the expectation, the proposition of your partner, to see the positive and to express it. For example, if I'm in this example, I tell you, I want to travel for holidays and my partner wants to stay, I may recognize that it is true, taking a time to meditate, to contemplate, to walk around in peace, to have a good, nice food at home, this may recharge our batteries very much, and we can come back after holidays full of energy, motivation, and determination to keep going. So I can observe this positive side, that spiritually we need the rest too. It's not that we need to be all the time doing exercise. And in the opposite way, my partner, she may recognize, okay, Pablo, but I recognize that you are partially right. If we go and we travel and we have adventure, we have refreshing experiences, we have challenges in our trip, we meet new people, all this may bring a lot of motivation too. May awake different new ideas, different new perspectives that may bring more power, determination to our life. So it's a good part too, definitely. So when you identify the good point, the positive point from each other and you express them, this is very important to recognize that there is something valuable in what the other person is proposing you. This is key. Then it comes the third point, and this is the most painful point of all, but this is the last one. If you do this, you are done. You will bring something new and you will avoid the conflict, which is amazing. The third part, the third movement, the third step is to be able to give up part of your expectations. So you need to let go. You need to allow that your expectations, your hopes, your plans, what you are proposing should partially die. There is one part, for example, if I plan that our 15 days of holidays, I would like to spend the whole 15 days traveling in Asia, I can say, okay, so let's go down. Instead of spending the 15 days traveling in Asia, we can spend 7 days traveling here in Europe. It's a compromise, yes? And the other person may say, okay, instead of spending 15 days at home in a very deep meditation and contemplation practice, we may take 7 days at home like this and 7 days to have a trip here in Europe. Okay, this is a very basic example, but you see there you have a common encounter point. And then you have something totally different. And this is the magic of the encounter of polarities. This is the magic. You don't have one thing, what you wanted, and the other person doesn't have what she or he wanted. You have something totally different, totally new. And this put us in a situation that we couldn't expect before, something that is totally new. And this is actually bringing the evolution to our life. Because going through this thing that we don't expect will bring different perspectives, different ideas, and unexpected situations. We will break the frame of our mind that is always trying to control life and put in the same path, the control well-known path. And in this way, we will rewire connections in our mind and we will allow development to happen. Remember, our mind, the human mind, is made in the way that it wants to preserve itself. This is actually the beginning of the conflict. It doesn't want to give up even one little part. It doesn't want to die even one little part. It wants to prevent itself as it is, to keep itself as it is. Okay, and this is not compatible with life, with growth, with development, with shining, with the thing that we came to do to this world. This is not compatible. So the final step, something in you should die. Something in you should go to allow the new to happen. This very basic recipe will destroy all your conflict, will actually do something better than destroy the conflict, will turn the conflict into opportunities, into potential windows of opportunity where you will be able to discover new things you next to your partner. And this is actually the foundation of the conscious relationship, which take us to love, fulfillment, satisfaction, and incredible bliss. Have a wonderful day, my friend. Take care.